Welcome back to the channel. Here today we're talking about the Columbia 300. What? So you can zoom. Yeah, it's going to be zoomable later. All right. Anyway, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel again. Today we're going to talk about the Jade Piranha Powercore by Columbia 300. It's a sim pearl. I did not drill up the solid Piranha Powercore, but I've heard a lot of good things about it. I drilled it for some other people. They really liked it. So I'll be curious to see how this one turns out. Also, before I get to mention it, make sure you're liking and subscribing to the channel. It really does help me out. Kind of remember to say that more. Also, we'll get a chance to compare this a little bit and to something else, and before the end of the video is up. So, all right, now I've not really warmed up much. I think I threw 2 or 3 shots, so don't pick on me too bad. And where the pattern I'm bowling on is the house pattern here at Vero Bowl in Vero Beach, Florida. It's still a little fresh, and these things do play a little bit wetter than normal. Although I got a stinking. I got a suspicion that it's playing a little bit more friction today, so we'll see how this turns out. It should be a good thing to really get a feel for what this ball can do. So I'll get a feel for it. I don't know where to throw this ball yet. See how that looks. See how it's wanting to read the lane a little bit early right there. Lane 32, if you haven't watched my videos before, it has a tendency to get a little spot right there early where you gotta like leapfrog on the other side of it. If you get there early on the lane, then you can get to the right of it. But then once you get to that, you gotta get to the left of it. You see that replay of that video. The ball tried to check, then it found oil, and then it started hooking again. Oh, I still got my glasses hanging from me. Hang on, let me remove those. There. Put these somewhere. Okay. All right, so let's move a little bit off back because I'm not liking that. I don't want it to skid hook. That's weird. I'll just bump a couple left. See if I can't get off of that line a little bit. See, and then when I do, it catches oil a little bit longer. So that seems like a pretty good place where I could probably strike at it. Really haven't even paid attention a whole lot yet. But what I'm gonna try to do in the beginning of the video, I'm gonna move a little bit right to that little hook spot early and see if I can get it up the lane on the other side of it. And then after I find that out there, if I can, I'll jump on the left side of it. All right, let's move 5 right and we'll target, what would that be? 13. Target 13 at the arrows. Yeah. I could probably bump a little further right than that. Let's bump a little further right than that. So this ball, I got it just reading up on the specs, which I'm gonna have in the video right here. I thought it was going to be kind of clean in the front and then angular down lane. And still to this point, I would not say that that's what it's giving me. Although I had a video out of me at a tournament in Palm Coast using this ball, and I did really like it, and I still really like it. It's just different than what I thought it was going to be. I'm going to bump a couple more right. We're going to target 11. At the arrows. Yeah, see, I can play right up the lane with that. I do believe this is going to be, I'm going to get a lot of use out of this ball. Probably not in this house, even though you see me striking with it right now. For whatever reason, magically today, the lanes are playing with a little more friction, which I thought off the first 2 shots I threw, I already see more friction than what would be normal on a league night. Normally on a league night, I don't even bring this ball in a bowling alley. I bring all super strong stuff, and maybe the weakest thing I have in my bag on league night in this house is like a Pearl A-Sim or something, just in case. But like typically I wouldn't even bring this ball in the house. But like today, of course, I'm gonna try from that spot again. We'll go 11 at the arrows. Oh, missed right. Well, I got the world out there, didn't I? Okay. So clearly I can strike with that ball to the right. And clearly I could probably use this ball in here. But during a league, unless something's changed, it's not gonna be like this. So either way, this ball's been pretty helpful. I still say for the most part, for most of us out there, this is not gonna be a game 1 ball, unless you have a pretty good amount of hand and your center has a decent amount of friction. Then it could maybe be a game 1 ball. For me, most of the time, it's not gonna be a game 1 ball. This is game 2, game 3 ball, even in a house for friction, for me. So depending on you, what works for you and your center, that could be different. If you have a lot of speed and no hand, probably not the ball for you. But for everyone else, you're gonna have a place for this in your bag. Okay, let me try that just one more time, targeting 11, and actually try to hit my target. That was 11. Got a little more, I caught it a little bit more than I wanted to on that one, but yeah, that's definitely a place I could strike with that ball in here. So let's make a little move. I'm gonna take a step 5 to the left, to the left, to the left. 5 to the left, then 5 to the right. Everybody throw some strikes. All right. So 5 to the left, and we're gonna target 16. Oh, well, we're gonna target 16, but we're gonna hit, what was that, 14 or 13? All right, so I'm not accurate, newsflash. I'm gonna try to be a little more accurate here though. But it struck. Of course, the ball I don't bring to league during the video is gonna strike, right? Let me get a little air. Okay. So, try that again. Targeting 16 at the arrows. There, 16. Oh, barely got there. So there, I would have to soften up a little bit, get around it a little bit, maybe catch it a little more at the bottom. Is that the first one I didn't strike? No, I didn't strike a couple other times. I remember hitting the reset button, so I must not have struck somewhere along the line. Okay. Well, I've got the Troublemaker Solid with me, and I realize that one is made for medium to dry lanes or medium lanes, which is the Piranha Powercore, right? And one's meant for heavy oil. I realize they're different, and they are different. But overall hook, it's gonna be different, but it may not be much different. Being this reads the lane a lot earlier, the core's completely different, but there are some similarities, so I wanna try to do that. All right, I'm gonna stay in the same spot, target 16, but I'm gonna soften up. Hey, still a little light right there. So clearly I can play kind of anywhere from there to the spot I just left and in between right there and have a pretty good look. I do think for the most part this ball is not going to come out early for me. It's going to be in tournaments a lot or in houses that have a lot of friction. But when that happens, and you can see it in the other videos, this ball is really good. It does read the lane a little earlier than I thought it was going to. It's got like a medium RG, and then that pearl cover, nice and shiny with compound. I really thought it was going to get a little bit longer before it would read the lane. It's not. The good news about that is it keeps it predictable and the ball stays continuous down lane, which is pretty good for scores. That stuff that goes sideways down lane can be useful at times, but for the most part, doesn't usually rack up high scores. Usually. All right, I'm gonna just bump 2 right, well 1 right. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm gonna bump 1 right, try to throw it normal, and try to hit 15. That's 14. Yeah, and see it did that little wiggle it did at the beginning. So clearly I either got to go on the other side of that wiggle or to the right. Now most bowling alleys, you're not gonna have that. This one, I don't know what it is, but right in that spot, there's a spot. But yeah, let me do a little comparison with this Troublemaker Solid. Now the Troublemaker Solid overall is definitely stronger. It's earlier, but it's supposed to be, right? That cover, it's definitely earlier. This, I believe the Troublemaker Solid has a lower RG. I'm gonna stand though, literally in that spot that where this Piranha Powercore come up a little light. I'm gonna stand in that spot and see what I get this ball to do. Now the downside is this ball's gonna read early and maybe not real hard off the spot. So it may actually end up in the same spot. The difference with this ball will be on heavier oil. This ball will out-hook the other one considerably. But let's try it. We're gonna aim for 16. Hit 17. Yeah, see? You're talking 2 to 3 boards. Now, depending on the lane condition, you're gonna see a bigger difference between these balls. But like, I can play right there with that Troublemaker Solid, and the overall shape isn't much different. It's just a little bit more than the Powercore. So that's why I picked that Troublemaker Solid to kind of compare it, just showing kind of like if the Piranha Powercore for use not game 1, you can start off with something like the Troublemaker Solid. And then when that's reading too early and not finishing hard enough down lane, the Powercore is not a bad option to flip to. I'm gonna do that one more time just because I like it. And I stuffed the 9 there anyway, so. Oh, I missed right. Yeah, I missed right, it did that wiggle. That's okay. Anyway, you get the point. You kind of seen the ball shape, you see the difference. So what I'm gonna switch to now, I'm gonna switch back to the Piranha Powercore for my clutch shot. See how I do today. All right, get my thumb in. You guys take bets whether or not I'm actually gonna strike or not. It's a mystery. I said it before, if I strike and you're not subscribed, you have to subscribe. That's the rules. If I don't strike and you're not subscribed, you have to subscribe. That's the rules. Good, right? Okay, we're gonna move back, kind of what I was doing in the beginning for my clutch shot, because this shot's important, right? All right. I'm gonna target, what would that be, 12? Hey, today's my day. Okay, well everybody, that's all I got to talk about. The Columbia 300 Piranha Powercore, the jade color. Beautiful bowling ball. Not a whole lot of them out there like that. Definitely come see me in Vero Bowl, or see Patrick in Vero Bowl in Vero Beach, Florida. And we'll get this thing drilled up for you. And until the next one, boom out.